This is better than ever with our new sales and service center on Route 32 in North Franklin. Everyone says there's nothing better than dealing with the dishes, and here's why. Selection. We have the area's largest inventory of off-lease, one-owner vehicles of all makes and models. You name it, we got it, or I'll get it for you at no additional charge. Quality. Each vehicle goes through a rigorous 120-point safety and quality check. Nothing leaves the lot without my personal approval. Convenience. We have financing sources for almost any situation. We offer on-site registration processing, and we have maintenance programs for years of stress-free ownership. And now open for all your maintenance needs. Our full-service repair facility where oil changes start at just $19.99. Call today for your appointment or just stop by. So save thousands and deal with the dishes. Route 32, North Franklin. Or check us out online at dishfranklin.com or ring us 860-383-4750.
Just wish, make a dish.
I will be right by your side. Women can have it all, including heart attacks. But symptoms like jaw pain, nausea, unusual fatigue, dizziness, and backache are often different and more subtle than for a man. The fact is, heart disease is the #1 killer of women. Know the signs. Learn more at getheartchecked.org. From Women's Heart Alliance in partnership with Women Heart.
Are we on the air, sugar?
Mike Minarski and Rich Wasilick in the morning. And 80s all day and night.
Behold the secrets of nature's deepest mystery.
Rich is a little bit country, and Mike is a little bit rocket. No, Mike's polka. He's a little bit polka.
SNSN, your community radio.
Live from Main Street. Mike Minarski and Rich Wasilick in the morning. And 80s all day and night. SNSN.
All right, Rich.
What up?
What's up? It's Tuesday. I always get my days screwed up, whether you're here or you're not.
I do too.
Tuesdays, Thursdays.
I thought it was Sunday yesterday for most of the day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
No, because your schedule goes from what? Day to night, day to night?
Yeah, every 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has it been 4 weeks since
That's
you
what we
switched again?
That's what we said.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Yeah. So I go to day shift, but I get to sleep at home during the nighttime, but
yeah. You can't sleep as a 911 operator. Well, yeah, you can, yeah.
You can?
You're like, 911, what can I do for you? Yeah, hold on, let me get my coffee. you got what? You got, oh, no, man. That's not us.
I'll call back at 8. Yeah.
Call back after I had a little bit of coffee and maybe a sandwich. All right. Tuesday morning. And what happens every Tuesday morning? Well, we have the fine folks from All Paws on Deck. Whee! See, look at it. Wow. You can hear Susanna going woof, woof in the background. That's not the dog. That's Susanna.
A lot of licking. Dog's very licky
today. She speaks dog. Hi, Susanna. How are you?
Hi. Thanks for having us again, Mike.
Of course. Every Tuesday morning is All Paws on Deck. We got to do every single time we say that. We got to get the puppies to stand up and go boom, put their paws right up on the thing. And we also have Brittany today. Hi, Brittany.
Hello.
Brittany is a dog trainer.
Yeah, she is.
So,
we are very lucky to have her helping us now with All Paws on Deck.
So, which is nice to have you here so we can ask questions of how to train a dog or what's the best way to do it. And hold on. Cameras are backwards again.
Uh-oh.
How's that? That better? There we go. All right. Thanks, Victoria. So, by the way, if anybody has any question for Brittany about dog training and stuff of the like, drop it here, and I'll read them off to her.
Absolutely.
And that'd be cool. I have questions too because I can't seem to get it right either. So let's get right into this is another visit from Bree. Bree is a French pit.
Bree is the perfect dog. I'm gonna say one more time. If you're just browsing through the catalog, you might miss her, and that's why we are here to show you how wonderful she is. Bree.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Bree is everything most families ask me for when they fill out the application. They say, "Oh, I'm looking for what's your perfect dog? House trained over the puppy phase, that's not chewing everything anymore, likes to cuddle on the couch at night,
Picks up their clothes after their shower. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And it's good with kids. So here's your complete package. She is everything you asked me for, packed in this pretty brindle coat.
She's pretty. She's very pretty.
Great with kids. She's a love. She's great with my dogs, especially the little one. They play like best friends. She lets him chew her ears, her paws, everything. She is a love. She's the perfect package, and she's available for adoption.
But she's still here. So let's.
And she's still here because, unfortunately, some people are afraid of the so-called pit bull breed. And here, my friend Bean, and we are going to try to get that myth now, because every dog is different. Just see the dog as a dog. Go see past the breed. The breed is just to give you kind of a guideline of what kind of personality the dog might have. But Bree is just so sweet.
She's very chill.
Yes, even within each individual breed, there's a wide spectrum of individuals. And from what I have seen, just the few minutes that I have seen Bree, she's been really personable. She hasn't met me before, and I haven't seen her being stressed or her being nervous around me or reserved at all. She seems really low key and friendly. Yeah, she's very.
I know. I'm watching her eyes, and it's like, yeah, all right.
Even the fact that she has to be kind of up on a chair on a lap right now, she's like, oh, I guess. Which a lot of dogs would not be that accommodating. Yeah. Trust me.
She's like, I'm in a Cheech and Chong movie. All right, can I take a bite of that hot dog? So Bree's what, between 2 and 3 years old? You're guesstimating, right?
Yes, it's a guess. She's said to be young. We were kind of busy when we went to the vet, but they look at their teeth and they see the amount of tartar, and her teeth are pretty good. She has been flossing and brushing while she's young. So I'll go with the second option.
No.
Well, she's letting you pick up her jowls and play with them. So I mean, that's
the ease of handling is a biggie. The fact that you can put your hand on her paws and she's not immediately sucking her feet away. The fact that you can touch her ears and she's okay with that. Those are things that a lot of people, wanting a dog that looks a specific way or is a specific breed or they're a puppy. There's a lot of handling and training and practice that goes into ease of ownership that a lot of people just overlook.
No food aggression either or anything like that. No. Toy aggression, anything like that.
No, she's very treat motivated.
She takes treats really gently too, which is nice. She's very gentle.
Oh, I'm more rough than that too when I get a treat. So.
I know. I've seen Kathy put her hand out in front of her. It's a mess.
And
last time drew blood.
So we got to start crate training.
Well, I crate very well. Pee pads and everything.
Oh, Rich had a mistake. I noticed that you just dropped a treat and Bree didn't try to get it. Just went like, all right, whatever. I'll get it later. I'm the only one eating it.
She's back rubs motivated too, and belly rub motivated, and kiss motivated. She's a doll. She
really is. This is the second time you've brought Bree in here. Dog. I mean,
no stranger fear. She has never seen Bean before, and I'm telling you, she's the perfect package. And she just started her heartworm treatment. So she has a little shaved spot here. I want to say thank you to the wonderful team of Norwich Town Vet. They're taking very good care of her. And it's a moment of heartworm. Heartworm is not contagious. It's transmitted by a mosquito. It's very prevalent in the South. And it's easily preventable with a monthly pill. So make sure you ask your vet for your heartworm preventative.
Now, how did you come upon receiving Bree?
Bree was a message on Facebook, one of the dozens of messages we get every day asking for help to save dogs here and there. It just happened to come at the right time when I had room. So I said, oh my gosh, I have a weak spot for brindles.
Same. They're so gorgeous.
So I said, oh my gosh, I love her. She was pregnant. And she was a brindle, and I had the space. So she came from Texas.
Texas?
Yes. And here she is.
How are you going to give her up? You're like all attached to this dog.
Yeah, seems like you adopted her.
Well, unfortunately, the zoning regulations only allow me to have 6 dogs.
Oh, okay.
That's it, huh?
You know, there was something that was in the news a few days ago, and I don't know if this is something that you heard. Being, in the dog rescue business, there was a lady in Hebron who had a bunch of dogs in crates in her house. I think it was upwards of like 15.
Wow.
I think I did hear about this. I think 20 to 30 dogs were removed. Maybe some cats, and I think a goat.
There's a goat? Yeah.
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yes, and a cow.
Oh, cow.
And a cow in the back.
I didn't hear about the cow.
Yeah, there was a cow too. So I was wondering do you get a call from these types of situations where they want you to come and, see if you can take some of these dogs or?
In this specific one, I didn't.
Okay.
I heard there were several animal control agencies involved.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to the lady. I did not know her personally, but being in rescue, I can kind of understand it might have gotten out of control when you get so many
She got
messages.
arrested. She got arrested, cruelty to animals.
Yes. I did not see the place. I knew like the name of the rescue and such.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving and my phone started exploding with messages, everybody forwarding me the article. And I was like, geez, I hope it's not me in trouble because the phone was like, po. But, when you
Brazilian woman.
So she was considered a rescue?
She was a rescue, yes. But, I don't know.
Dogs needed to be rescued from her.
Yeah.
It's hard when you want to save everybody.
Right.
And like Bree has been with me since November. So,
Did Bree just burp?
Yep.
So she, and then somebody else wants you to save another one, and somebody returns you a dog, and it kind of, you might have gotten out of control when your heart is there, having to balance your heart and the day-to-day operations. It might have gotten out of control, and I am so sorry for her and all her team, and I hope they can figure out a way. Everybody who wants to help animals. It's really hard when you have it in your heart so deep. You might have gotten out of control, especially cats. That's why I don't do cats, because they multiply so fast.
Yeah.
Bunnies. Same thing.
They're so cute, and they are more of a low maintenance. So you get one, it turns into 2. Oh, 2 more. Oh, can you help me with this one?
Then 12.
Yeah.
So
I want to ask Brittany a couple of questions. And again, if you are in the chat room and you have a question of Brittany, who is a certified dog trainer, go ahead and ask, and we'll go ahead and pass it along to her. So I'm just going to ask again a personal situation. I have 2 Shih Tzus, and
he was coming.
Oh yeah.
The barking Shih Tzus.
Yeah. They sound like Dino from the Flintstones.
Oh my God.
Yeah. When you walk them, they love to go for walks. I mean, if you show them their leash,
of course,
they're out of control. You would have thought.
Message.
Yeah. You put them on the leash and then you get them out. And I have one that will walk, but I have one that pulls so hard. And that's Howie. Howie's a little shit,
Okay.
let me tell you. And he pulls so hard that he's so low to the ground. He's trying to drag me. And I've tried to short leash him and keep him on the side of me. Still, what is something that I could do maybe to start to teach him to walk with me and not try to guide me and pull me?
Absolutely. So what oftentimes we fall into with our dogs is we expect too much too soon. We put them in an environment that's too difficult for them to perform. So we're expecting university level skills when really they only have a preschool or kindergarten level of skill.
Yeah.
I would start practicing how we walk together in your home. So
Okay.
I would take a big step back and say, okay, this is clearly too hard for him to function. He's too invested in the environment, in the smells, in the sights.
Sure.
He wants to go do all of his doggy things. So he can't learn when his head is in that space. Take it back to the easiest spot imaginable in the boring old house.
Okay.
And then if you have a bit of cheese diced up, some of his regular dog food, something that he's interested in, and he'll say, "Ooh, tasty."
Yep.
Just walk around your house, and every step or two, reach down and feed him a little piece of that food if he's right next to you.
I'm going to tell you about Howie.
Mm-hmm.
He won't even take treats. I mean,
outside?
he's very discerning. Like, I will have literally chicken.
Outside?
No, inside.
In the house.
In the house. And he's like this. And he did a little, and now his brother, Howie, Henry, will just, is that you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He'll just, you don't care. Not even chew it. Just, it's gone.
Just forks it down.
But
Is there anything that Howie will eat?
Oh, Howie will eat it, but it takes this sweet old time.
Think about it.
He does. He does have to think about it. But one thing he doesn't have to think about is pull me to where he's got to poop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Do you have an environment where you can exercise them a little bit off leash before you go on a leashed walk? Do you have like a fenced yard?
No, but we could walk around. I mean, we do have a yard that we could walk around.
You could consider if you walk them on a harness, which is the safest option, especially for our pollers. We really don't want a whole lot of pressure on the
Right,
throat.
okay.
If you have him on a harness, you can put him on a longer leash, 10 or 15 foot leash, so he has some more space. Let him romp through the yard. Let him get some running and some fast paced out. Well, you just kind of follow along behind him.
Yep.
If he does get to the end of the leash, I would stop and wait until he puts slack back in the leash. If there's tension on the leash, we don't walk. If the leash is slack, we do. And that can be a pretty clear communication with the dog. If you want to move, you got to keep the leash slack.
See, Henry will do that. Henry will walk with me. Henry will, even if we open up the front door and they get out, which I hate because, I don't want them to get in the street because Howie will take off.
Yeah.
Henry will stay right with you. They're litter mates, but they're so different. So what they've been in the same environment since they've been born. Yeah. So why are their learning curve is so different.
They're individuals.
Exactly. even two dogs, same breed from the same litter, they are individuals.
Yeah. Look at me and my brother. We're twins. He's a pastor, and I'm me.
I'm sorry.
How did that happen?
No, he gets a pastor.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Howie's a pain in the. Henry is just a sweet little. Do
they ever get walked separately? Do they get taken out?
No.
I would experiment. See if you work them individually.
Well, the only time they walk separately is if Melissa has one dog and I have the other, but we're together. Yeah. So, but they have to be in tandem. They get lost if they're not walking in tandem.
Dogs that are raised
they're like the Doublemint twins.
Even if they're not blood relations, puppies that are raised together can definitely have that kind of bond. Sometimes it can work against people because they bond so tightly to each other that they don't bond to their people. But then if they're so bonded together, sometimes it can be good for them to build confidence to work independently.
Yeah, they definitely bonded to us.
Yeah, okay.
Like Henry is her and I'm Howie. And
okay.
maybe it's my fault. Maybe,
our dogs can sometimes be a reflection of ourselves. As much as we don't like to look in that particular mirror.
I am a little belligerent.
And if you have to think about his learning history has been that pulling has worked. You keep walking him as he pulls, correct?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. So if pulling has historically worked for him to get where he wants to go, then he's going to keep trying it.
But is short leashing good or bad? Because I would keep him on the side of me and he would know that if he pulls, gets tight for him.
But he keeps pulling. I want to smell that poop.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And he does get the eye rolling back and stuff.
I always used to take Ada with a treat. Yeah. And every time she looked at me, I'd give her a treat. Like she was checking in, I'd give her a treat.
That's a wonderful approach to take. Yeah. Rewarding that eye contact. It's really hard for them to be pulling ahead and giving you eye contact at the same time. Yeah. So that's just rewarding an alternative behavior to the one that you consider a problem because you can't do both at the same time.
Yeah, you got to have really good treats.
You have to take out, to compete with the environment. Yeah,
you used to call them doggy crack.
Some dogs will work for Cheerios in the kitchen, but you got to break out the sirloin steak.
I used to have to make liver, dried out liver.
Yep, that's one of my go-tos is dehydrated liver and heart. Yeah.
Laura wants to know: is there such a thing as an untrainable dog?
I haven't encountered one.
Okay.
The laws of learning apply to any creature with a brain stem. Positive reinforcement works on literally anything. If you can train a polar bear to offer their paw for a blood draw, you can train an elephant to lie down for medical procedures. I have a hard time believing that our dogs can't be trained the same way.
Mm-hmm. I've met kids that can't be trained.
It's not difficult. You have to find what motivates the dog.
Gotcha. I think that makes sense. Pretty much that's true to any species, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe you can teach teenage boys to clean their rooms.
You absolutely can.
Good luck with that.
Sometimes it's much harder to train the humans.
Yeah.
Because that's what it comes down to a lot of the time.
Is that usually what it is? It's human error, not so much doggy error.
Everything that a dog does is normal for the dog. That's what it's hard for us humans to keep in mind. Everything the dog does is normal dog behavior. Just a lot of those behaviors we don't like. So if we aren't taking the time to change their environment, to set them up for success, to reward the behaviors we like, to strengthen those behaviors, then we're not going to see the change we want. You can shout no all day long. No isn't a behavior that your dog can learn how to do. You have to teach your dog what you want them to do and help set them up for success. So the right answer is an easy thing for them to achieve. And then you can live in far more harmony.
That's a great point, that this is a normal dog behavior. As we discussed a few weeks ago, sometimes we adopt puppies and I get a call or a text message a week later saying, oh my gosh, this puppy is aggressive. He's chewing my hands. He's breaking skin. He beat my child. And I'm like, this is a puppy, right? So I'm so glad we are partnering now because then I can say, contact the trainer.
Let's say, what did your child do?
Talk a little bit about puppy behavior.
Absolutely, puppies can be a lot. I actually saw a little infographic that was really poignant this week that said 8 seconds of stillness in an 8-week-old puppy is what's normal. 15 seconds of stillness is aspirational. Like when we're talking about puppies, they might sleep hard for a good 18-20 hours a day, but those 4 to 6 hours that they are awake, you need to be supervising. You need to be setting them up for success. They need to have some sort of puppy-proof space. They need constant supervision around children and other house pets. Your resident cat or dog that was already there, we're not the ones that asked for the puppy, so don't expect them to babysit. You need to, as the human adult, you need to kind of take the referee position and step in there and constantly monitor and redirect and shape that puppy into the dog you want it to be. If you don't have the time to really buckle down and put in all the effort that's necessary, puppies, oh my gosh, I think about my early days with my puppy. I have a Cane Corso. So he's an Italian Mastiff.
That's a big old dog.
He's 3 years old. He's 130 pounds. He's a lot of dog. I think about his first 6 months to a year of life, so much more work than my human children in their first 2 years. So much more work. If you think about it, he had the impulse control of a 2-year-old toddler, and he was 60 pounds by about 5 months old. So you have to be on top of them. You really, really do. You have to set them up for success and make sure that you're crafting and choreographing what you want them to be doing.
Well, yeah, everybody wants a puppy.
I don't know why. They're really, really cute, but oh my goodness, they are so much work.
Only cute for a couple of weeks.
And then they turn into little hellions. Yes.
Do people want puppies because they are cute?
I think so.
And not what the work that needs to go into them?
I think that the cuteness of a puppy with their droopy ears and their still kind of bluish little baby eyes and they're like, even though they're sharp, pokey little goofy small teeth in their mouth.
Sure.
They're goofy and they're floppy and they sleep in weird positions. They pluck at our heartstrings. They really do. And I love to work with puppies. I really do. But it is work. Yeah. It is work. And I think that that's kind of the disconnect. You think that you're getting a puppy and, it's going to be a great dog. Oh, he will. But you've got 2 to 3 years of training and raising and building up this puppy from scratch. And if you don't put in the time, that first 6 to 12 months, you're going to end up with a lot more struggle on your hands when the dog is full grown and not fully trained.
Is there a limit on treats? Like I've always been really concerned with, especially Howie and Henry being little guys.
Yeah.
Giving them too many treats. I mean,
that is a valid concern to have.
So
sure.
What is enough? What is too much? Because Rich, you had said, treat, look up, treat. And I'm thinking, is what's too much?
Yeah, so it really depends on the size of dog you have and the age of dog. Obviously, different sizes and different ages are going through calories differently. I like to do a rough estimation of you don't want to go over about 20% of the dog's daily calories as just random treats. Because over 20% of the diet being random, cheese or hot dog or kind of junk food, then you're starting to impact the nutrition that the dog is taking in. And for puppies, that's very important. We don't want to mess up their calcium to phosphorus ratios in their diet, or the building of their skeleton could be thrown off for life. But what is convenient is a lot more food brands these days are coming out with complete and balanced freeze-dried foods that you can break into really small pieces. And I use those as treats. So even if my dog could eat this food exclusively, has all the vitamins, all the nutrients, everything, the dog doesn't know that. The dog doesn't know that this is dog food. It's mainly meat, bone, organ in a freeze-dried patty that I can break really small, and that could be half of his daily intake.
Yeah, Ada's treats were probably like this.
Yeah,
even full grown.
You're talking like pinky size. My dog's head is this big, and he's getting pinky nail sized treats.
That, and when we were training Ada for search and rescue, the training session would only be like 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
So because that's all they're going to absorb is 5 minutes worth of education.
Definitely.
Yeah.
When I come into the home, I do offer private in-home training. When I come into the home and spend an hour and a half with the humans and their dog, I'm largely there for that length of time to teach the people. And I try to emphasize, break up your training in small chunks throughout the day, using some of your dog's daily food if you need to, or invest in a freeze-dried food that you can use a little bit more of if you're doing a lot of training. I'm spoiled because my dog is a caloric black hole. He can literally demolish 3,300 calories in a day and still lose weight. I don't know exactly how.
Me too.
But then when you have a very valid point, when you're dealing with a much smaller dog, you've got 200 calories in a day. Like that's not very much. So being cognizant of where
The flagship or Griswold High.
A couple comments. Victoria says we call our puppy the land shark.
Yes.
She's definitely adept at herding. So when you said something about like the cat didn't ask for the puppy.
Yeah.
I immediately saw 2 of my cats right in front of my. I went, yeah.
Yep.
And Laura says our lab had 10 puppies in her first litter. Let me tell you, we didn't get much sleep for those 6 to 8 weeks that they were here.
Especially weeks 5 to 8. Oh Lord.
They just little whirlwinds.
So one of the things, like I know that Howie and Henry are trainable. And the reason why I know that personally is that, all right, so like our bedroom is downstairs. We redid the basement and we've got a bedroom, and right off of the bedroom, there's basically, at the end of the stairs is a dog room, and we crate them every single night. First of all, is crating healthy or not?
It absolutely can be, but it can be overused.
Okay.
You have to find a healthy medium.
Oh, they love their crates.
Where the dog is comfortable in the crate.
It's their safe space.
And it's not for, most of their life. Obviously, too much.
Oh, no. No, matter of fact, I don't ever put them in their crate.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And when they're in their crate, I'll leave the door open sometimes.
Okay,
They won't, they don't want to come out, I don't pull them out.
Nice.
I was always told that that's their safe space.
Absolutely should be. Yeah.
If they're in there, just let them be and do their thing.
Good. I'm glad to hear.
So I know that one thing that Howie and Henry will react to is they'll be up on the couch with me as always. I'm always the last one to bed. So I'll go over and I'll literally just go like that.
Yeah.
And they know by that snap, they go over and they walk to the top of the stairs, and then they don't move. And they wait till I get down to the bottom and look at them and snap again.
Yeah.
They come in, and I'm not kidding you. They're like 2 by 2, and they just come down there right around, boom, right in their crates. They go, "How'd we do?"
They've caught on
and
to what that picture looks like.
Huh?
They've caught on to what that picture looks like.
Exactly.
What your snap indicates. Yeah.
so they're definitely trainable. Yeah. No, they do. They hear that, and it's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And they have to do like the same thing, so like 70 times before it becomes a thought or a memory.
Dogs can have a difficult time generalizing. So if you snapped your fingers in a different location and a crate was present, they probably wouldn't understand that meant to go to a crate unless they had practiced that association in that space.
Right.
That's why so much of the time when when we have dogs in a new place and we try to show our friends, like, hey, my dog knows this trick, and then the dog won't do it in that particular setting. It's just because they haven't practiced it in that setting.
So I know, like, leading into that, I know they're trainable and everything. One thing I can't seem to do, how do you train a dog to not poop in the house?
Oh,
I have a hard time with that.
How old are they?
4.
That would necessitate going back to basics.
I mean, they don't hardly do because we take them on multiple walks a day.
Yeah.
But, so they're good about that.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and we put puppy pads out and stuff.
Will they use the pads?
They'll like half and half. They kind of miss
Okay.
a lot. But anyway, that hasn't been successful.
Okay. It would, I mean.
They don't poop or pee in their crate at all.
Good.
That's
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least that part is complete. It sounds like they maybe just had a little bit of a gap in their learning. It really comes down to the humans getting the dogs where they need to be at the right time. Potty training is largely all human error.
See,
I agree with you. I agree. It's not the dog.
I was always taught you eat, you go out. You run around, you go out.
Yeah.
You have excitement, you go out.
Pretty much. When you're starting from little young puppies, any activity change. So they just finished getting a drink, time to go out and go potty. You just finished eating, time to go out and go potty. You just finished playing, time to go out and go potty. You just woke up from a nap, time to go out and go
That
potty.
stimulates them, doesn't it?
Yeah, like any sort of scene change throughout the day can really kind of bring it to the forefront of their mind. Oh, hey, maybe I should sniff around and try and find a potty spot.
Yeah.
It really just to get that reliability with an adult dog too, even if it's to a rescue that's coming into a home for the first time, and as an adult, it's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Outside of those scene changes, outside every 30 minutes, and eliminate the mistakes. And I would try to find out if there's a pattern to when they are going inside. Have they been home? Have they been inside too long? Has it been, was it a particularly maybe stormy or poor weather day? Maybe they didn't want to do their business outside because they didn't want to go out and get wet or cold. Sometimes there might be a pattern that you can try to get ahead of if it's happening at the same time.
The carpet just feels better under Tushy.
Yeah, you could. So
I'm joking, but I've had the same problem.
Yeah.
He has gotten much better since I started doing the crate training at night. I don't have more accidents at night. The dogs go in the crate at night, like you said. Good night, everybody happy. They get their treats. First thing in the morning, everybody goes outside. It's so good to wake up not to pee and poop in the house.
We never used puppy
It's a great
pads.
feeling.
Never used a puppy pad at all.
Yeah. I don't typically recommend them because it
teaches them to go in the
dog.
house, right?
It can confuse the dog a little
Right.
bit. Like we don't want any potty.
consistency is the big thing, right?
Consistency, yeah. Take them outside when they need to go.
Now, will you come back with all paws on deck again? To answer questions and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be great.
I'd like to be a resource and answer training questions.
Sure.
I am so relieved I can dodge all those questions to the trainer.
Where are you out of? I'm sorry. Where are you out of? What is
So my training business is called Know Better, Do Better Dog Training, LLC. I have a Facebook page. That's primarily how you get a hold of me. I have a booking site also, but all my info is on Facebook. I am based down in Mystic. But I do in-home training, and I travel pretty much all of southeastern Connecticut.
Gotcha.
There might be a little bit of a travel fee associated if it's outside.
I would hope so.
A 30-40 minute drive.
Yeah. Especially today, I would hope so.
It's been a little killer with these gas prices. But.
Yeah. All right. So all paws on deck. allpawsondeck.org.
Or on Facebook. All Paws on Deck.
CT
Rescue.
Right. And Bree is available right now.
Yeah.
And Bree is adorable.
And we have more dogs coming on Friday. All their pictures are on Facebook. We have wonderful adults. Take a look at Bo. Take a look at Brandy. Take a look at Bree. All adult dogs, house trained, ready to go.
They're being shipped UPS or
all right, so we have our next guest already in the green room, as they say. So we're gonna have to go ahead and say goodbye for today. But Brittany, thank you very much, and I appreciate your answers and your time, and of course, Susanna, always thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
So it's allpawsondeck.org. Check them out and take a look at Bree. She's adorable. We'll be back with a gentleman who just opened up a new business here in the borough of Jewett City.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Derp. And it's something that I thought, I'm like, really? Huh. And I told him this too.
Yeah.
And I said,
What is it? What is it?
are you kidding me?
It's a surprise.
And I'm like, how's this going to work out? But then I talked to him. I'm like, oh, you got a good point. Anyway, his name is Phil.
Foot massage?
No.
Oh.
It could be.
No. He repairs and sells clocks.
Oh, it's a clock dude down
Yeah.
there. Oh, all right.
We're going to talk to Phil in just a minute right here on SNSN.
Don't just wish for a winning deal. Make it Dish. It will make it real. Don't just wish. Make it Dish.
Hey everyone, this is Ellis Dish from Dish Motors. We're back better than ever with our new sales and service center on Route 32 in North Franklin. Everyone says there's nothing better than dealing with the dishes, and here's why. Selection. We have the area's largest inventory of off-lease, one-owner vehicles of all makes and models. You name it, we got it, or I'll get it for you at no additional charge. Quality. Each vehicle goes through a rigorous 120-point safety and quality check. Nothing leaves the lot without my personal approval. Convenience. We have financing sources for almost any situation. We offer on-site registration processing, and we have maintenance programs for years of stress-free ownership. And now open for all your maintenance needs. Our full-service repair facility, where oil changes start at just $19.99. Call today for your appointment or just stop by. So save thousands and deal with the dishes. Route 32, North Franklin. Or check us out online at dishfranklin.com. Or ring us, 860-383-4750.
Don't just wish. Make it Dish.
Life is full of choices. At Jewett City Savings Bank, we can make one choice easy, finding the right checking account. We offer a range of affordable accounts to fit your budget and needs, and each gives you the freedom to access your money the way you want, online, through our mobile app, or with your debit card. It's your money and your choice. To learn more about the account that's right for you, stop by one of our offices or visit us at jcsbank.com. Jewett City Savings Bank, member FDIC.
Did you hear that? Mike Minarski and Rich Wasilick in the morning and 80s all day and night.
Whatever you do, don't tell them you listen to internet radio.
Awful entertaining.
SNSN.
All right. Good morning. Welcome back to the show, everyone. We had a nice conversation, as always, with the folks from All Paws on Deck. And Bree is a wonderful dog.
Can't believe she's not gone yet.
No, I know. She's a really cool dog.
Yeah.
I mean, 2-3 years old, and the whole time just sat there and was just incredibly chill and just inquisitive. Yeah. Very, very nice dog. So, how you doing, Phil?
Very good. Cold.
Cold. Yeah. What the hell?
I don't know. No, walked out the door this morning, went back in and put on a sweatshirt.
Jesus.
Well, it's supposed to warm up Thursday, so.
And rain at the same time.
Yeah, well, of course.
Every time the warm air comes in, the rain comes in with it.
Tropical weather.
Yeah.
So what is the official name of your store that you opened up?
Phil's Clocks and Repair.
Okay. So I told you there was a bunch of times I'd walk by your store and I'd look in and I'm going, oh, all right. And I'm like, and this was before you really officially opened and stuff. So I don't want to throw you under the bus or whatever. But I'm like, oh God, every time I walk by, it's not open, but you weren't open yet anyway.
No, I wasn't open.
So I'm looking, I'm thinking, this is really, really cool. So I didn't know. I mean, I was being, I guess very naive to think, who does clocks? Who that's what
I was wondering. Repair? You have watches that are digital and
a lot of clocks still out there. Just a lot of the people that did it don't do it anymore, or they've already gone by. And there wasn't.
We got to get that door for a minute. Can you? Yeah. All right, there we go. So, So anyway, I was like, what in the heck? Who needs clocks repaired? But I learned a lot when I walked into your store.
Well, there's a lot of times that I'm out. I'm actually doing service trips to houses, so that's why I'm in and out a lot. Usually, I'll have a sign on the door that says I'm on a service call. But when I was first starting out, I was like, well, I don't really need a sign right yet.
So when did you open? Because it seemed like you've been open for a couple months. That's why.
I officially opened in February, but I've been in there since January.
Okay.
Now, this is something that runs in the family.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah. My father started a clock shop in Westerly back when I was 4 years old. He's been doing it for a long time. Then he retired, and then he opened up another one in Virginia. So he's going crazy at 74.
And he's down there now.
Yeah, he's down there now. He's backed up 13 months, I believe it is right now, trying to work on the clocks that are needing repair down there.
Now, my theory was, who needs a clock repaired, right?
That's what I was thinking. All the digital stuff now and everything. Do they still have clocks?
Oh, you're backed up too.
I'm backed up right now, about 2.5 to 3 weeks. So
you find older people are the clients mostly?
No,
or
not
younger
all the
people?
time. There's a lot of the grandfathers out there that are with the grandfathers.
Yeah.
But a lot of the younger generations are seeing that it's not just a clock. It's craftsmanship and really neat timepiece that they can hand down to their kids later on through life, But unlike things that you just put a battery in and walk away, and then when it's dead, you throw it away.
It's the society that we're in, we're in a throwaway society.
Yeah.
So.
These old clocks actually need repairs and service and upkeep that have to be done all the time. And if you don't do it, then they have to come in for major repairs.
Right. How much is it generally to repair like a mantle clock?
Just a regular mantle clock in for repair with a normal service, about $100.
Okay. But mantle clocks, they're actually, they have a lot of value to them, do they not?
Some of them do. Yeah. Some of them don't, but there's quite a few out there that do. Then you get into the grandfather clocks. They've lost their value through the years, but they're starting to come back up a little bit right now. It depends on the age of the clock and who made it. Like the Seth Thomases from back when, they're still worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Then you got the Korean clocks that they really didn't hold their value that much.
No,
but
cheap parts.
Some of them are still.
Was it North Korean clock or South Korean?
Yeah,
right. One has got Ung Jong Kim or whatever come out with I am a song
9 times on the hour. Yeah.
What's the most valuable clock or whatever?
It all depends on which ones you're looking at. There's some really nice ones out there that actually have the Earth in the center with all the planets going around the outside. That a company called Hermele puts out, and they're pretty darn expensive, ranging between $3,000 and $9,000 depending on what you want to get. They've got special jewels in them, or they're made with silver or gold, and
Oh, really?
It's one of those things that you hand down to your kids later on, and their kids and their kids, and it's going to be around for a long, long time.
There's one that you have in your shop. It's a Seiko, I believe.
Melodies in Motion.
Yeah, the one I was totally mesmerized because it did something that I never even thought it would do. So it said, press here. So I went, okay. Now what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to press there. So I did, and it starts playing music and little lights and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Next thing you know, the numbers.
The face just opens right up.
It just opens up and starts turning. I'm like, holy cow.
Almost looks like a Ferris wheel behind it with all the lights and all the gears moving and stuff like that.
It was like one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then you had told me, and this would really freak me out too, is it's new.
Yep.
I thought this was something like maybe that was old that you reconditioned or something. This is a brand new thing. Brand new clock.
Yep.
Really?
Seiko makes a whole line of them. Really nice line. All of them are different. They've got people that'll stand there with the trumpets and dancers and all kinds of different ones. With every hour has a different song that you play, so it's actually pretty cool.
Do you have a cuckoo?
Oh yeah, I got.
We'll get into that. Question for you: do you work on pocket watches?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
But what's the difference between like a clock
size?
Got it.
Completely different tooling.
Okay.
And I did it for a little while, and it got to be a big headache because they just keep coming, and then you lose the ability to work on the other clocks at the same time.
Gotcha. See, now back in the day, I used to run Radio Shack stores, right?
Yep.
So people would come in with their watches, and they would ask me to go ahead and change their battery. Well, we would charge a $5 installation fee, but it was up to us to say whether or not we wanted to do it or not, depending on the watch. Because there were some watches, and I want to say Seiko's one of them, where you got to take a tool to actually turn it. You can't just pop it off with a little screwdriver.
Right. It actually has a spin feature on the back.
Yeah.
And there's a gasket inside to keep it from getting wet.
Yeah, and it's a real pain in the ass.
Really?
Yeah, and then the battery's going to need to get a little screws and whatever. Sometimes we would tell people, no. We can't do it. And they would get really, really belligerent. They would say, well, you're supposed to be doing it. I said, no. Well, you've got questions. You're supposed to have answers. And I looked at them. I said, couple times and say, sometimes the answer is no.
Right. Yeah.
You may not like the answer. Mr. Rogers said one time, you may not like always what I give you. But,
right.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Well, I do the batteries in the watches too, but there are some that I can't do. They're pressure sealed. And
Right.
And I'll do the watch bands and stuff, but I won't work on the watches anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't think I
completely
could see
different
it.
No, that's the problem.
I'm like,
yeah, my magnifiers are quadruple what they are when I'm working on a clock. It's ridiculous. But they also got a hair spring on them that looks like a big spring, but it's so tiny.
Yep.
All you gotta do is touch it wrong, and it bends.
It'll pop
now
off.
You need another
It'll
one. And then you go to put the new one on, and you do the same thing to it, and it just gets aggravating over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, there were some on watches that I would just pop off the battery, just come out, put it in, and you were done. But there were some that I didn't want to tell.
Well, even the battery watches are hard to see the numbers on now.
Oh, I know. SR626SW.
Yeah.
The hell.
Now, do you do barometers and all that too with the clocks?
They come with the barometers in them.
Yeah.
I'll clean them and set them up and make sure that they're all set, but I don't actually work
You don't
on
actually
the
fix the barometer itself? Okay.
Is there tuning into it? Not that it matters.
Yeah, there's special tuning into it, and but I do clean them and make sure that they're fit back to go into service.
Gotcha. So let's talk cuckoo clocks.
Okay.
All right. So I saw a couple of clocks that were really cool. One of them was the one that was it was built or from the movie Heidi.
Oh yeah, that
So
one's
can you
from
tell us
Lake
about
too.
that one?
They have they're actually battery operated too. Those ones, and they have 12 different songs for every hour. And you got the little lady that swings back and forth on the swing, and they've got the songs from the Heidi movie and all that.
Yeah.
Then we got the bear one that plays 12 different songs, and you got the wood chopper where he's chopping the wood. Then you got the other ones that are not battery operated, like the quail call that goes every 15 minutes, and every half an hour you get the cuckoo that comes out.
See, to me, this is one of those things that I would visit people when I was a kid, and I would see these clocks in people's homes and just think that they were the neatest things. Like, you're 7 years old and you're like, how does that happen?
Mesmerizing.
Yeah. How does that cuckoo know when to come out? No, serious. You're thinking like,
there's a lot involved in that.
Yeah. And then you walk in and you see, and honestly, for me, it's like it all came back.
Well, my two grandkids, their favorite ones are the cuckoo clocks. They always want to see them because they're intriguing to them. And the craftsmanship that went into the cuckoo clocks from the Black Forest in Germany and all that is just incredible, some of it, because it's all handmade.
Right.
Right. And you get to watch some of the videos online on how they make them and stuff like that. And it's actually pretty darn cool.
Let's see. David wants to know, have you ever worked or seen on an Omalu clock? It's called a death clock.
A death clock? No, I've not actually.
I don't even know what that is.
I know what it is, but I've never worked on it.
I don't know if I want to know what that is.
No, it had mercury in it.
Oh.
That's why they call it the death clock. So
what did the mercury do?
It poisoned
Killed you?
Oh no, I know that.
It's like the old Mad Hatter. He had all the mercury in his hat.
Oh, okay. Why did they put mercury in a clock? I'm thinking
that's what they did back then. The
then,
pendulums actually had mercury in them too.
Yeah.
So the mercury was heavy, so they put it in the pendulum instead of lead. And then if it spills, now you got a mercury spill in your house.
They didn't know
that. They didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now that brings up another thing. See, I paid attention when I was visiting with you and talking to you. Now you have the clocks. I saw they hang on the wall, and it's
wag on wall.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
It's like having a grandfather clock hanging on your wall without the case.
Right.
Yeah, those are pretty nifty too.
It's really cool because you kind of then all of a sudden you look at that, right? You see the mechanisms, and you almost kind of envision it inside of a case.
Right.
Oh,
well,
that's really what's going on.
It takes up less room in your house too.
Yeah,
hanging on your wall, and you don't have this thing hanging out in the middle of your
So it's
room.
like the guts are just there, not the actual.
Yep, the guts, the weights, the pendulum, and the face.
Okay. Wow.
So you don't have the big case all around it.
You have to wind them up and everything too.
Yep. Some of them you wind, some of them you pull the chains, and it brings the weights up.
Oh.
What do you think is the most unique clock in your shop
The most
right now?
unique clock.
That you look at and go, that's really cool.
I love the French Morbier that I have in the corner. It has all the French tin knocked detail with all the paint on it. And then you've got the cuckoo with the quail call. That one always gets me whenever it's running, because you get the little quail that on every 15 minutes. And
15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes the quail comes out, but every half an hour the cuckoo comes out.
I gotta go crazy.
I think that's why they made less of them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, walk into a shop and it's like instant zen, because it's just soothing in here.
I think my favorite thing is to take the old ones that like that teardrop one that I showed you that came to me in like pieces, tons and tons of different pieces.
Is that the one that's on your on that was
next to the big tall one?
Okay, all right.
The light colored one. It's
okay.
It was just in disarray, so I had to redo the whole woodwork around the case, and the finished product is what I like the best. But I don't like to change everything either. Like the face is still exactly the same. It's not in the best condition, but it's what it was supposed to have. So I like to leave a little bit of the old class to what it was.
So let's kind of step back for a minute, because there was just kind of, I remember you talking about this and really kind of thought it was very unique. You only see this in like movies, like, I think of Back to the Future with the big clock tower. Now, your father used to work on these, did he not?
Yeah.
With these big, huge gears and
yeah.
What was it? Because you were there with him.
He used to climb up inside, and he'd be smearing oil and grease on things, and he'd hand you the pendulum and laugh at you because it's so stinking heavy you could hardly hold it. It was amazing the size of the gears inside the clocks to me at 4, 5, 6 years old. But they started making them electric too, so you didn't have people going up there winding them anymore.
Yeah. So this has been your only interest growing up, or did you do anything else?
Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of management right now. I actually work at EB doing inspection for them too.
Oh, okay. So this is your side gig, or
no? This is my gig.
The management is over there. Is your side gig?
That's my side gig right now. Clocks is the main thing right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure that's what I'm going to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
EB's nice and it's a great future, but
do what you love.
I like to go to work and feel as though I'm not going to work.
Right. You know what? I'll tell you something. I worked for Radio Shack and Verizon Wireless, for my retail career. It was like over 20 years. And then I started this, and I don't make as much money.
You wake up with a smile on your face, though, don't you?
Yeah, but I get up every single day and like, all right, I'm going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
I enjoy it.
Yes.
And if you get to do something that you enjoy, it's not a job anymore.
There's a lot to be said for that. Yeah.
I come here and I do these things and I get to talk to these people that are in the chat room and, get to interact with them. And that's why I think this is just, to me, it's so unique. It's definitely a unique platform. And you get to meet business people and you get to talk to them and really talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, because this is such a small town.
It's tight knit too.
Exactly.
Very tight knit. It's amazing going to all the small shops and seeing how well they're actually doing, because then you realize that the people of the town actually care about their small shops too, instead of just going to the big guys down there.
Buy local.
Yeah.
Well, it's like even the florists down here, the D'Amico's over here. I remember getting my very first corsage for a prom.
Right. Yeah.
From Lou.
Mm-hmm.
And now Lou just turned 72 and he's still just as
still doing it,
chipper and and mobile as ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that gives you an idea.
You get a lot of the companies that start out and it's a family business, and then all of a sudden it's gone because nobody in the family wanted it after that. It's nice to see the ones that continue.
Yeah. Like, seems like all of them do that.
What's that?
It's family. They just go down generation along the strip.
Yeah.
Charlene's, Dean's, and the other one. What's the other one down there? Cranky's, all of them.
Sure.
Families, all.
Matter of fact, Cranky's just went through a generational change.
Yeah. That's what popped into my head was
because Frank and Becky, who own it, actually sold it to Becky's daughter and their cook named Killian.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, you get generations. Charlene's, they're in almost their fourth generation now.
Yeah.
Because they get the kids that are in there now. It's Braden and I forget what the girl's name is, but they're in there doing their thing.
But the hardware quality is going to be there every time now.
Yeah,
because it was there before.
There's
so
pride behind it,
and it's a family. It's family heritage and pride.
The hardware store the same family too, generation after generation, or did they change?
I don't know. I think it was just
same person the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those guys are great.
Ron's a great guy.
Yeah, I love that
Ron's a great
store.
guy.
You walk in there and you're like,
and again, they know everybody.
Yeah.
And they know where everything is.
Yes. Well, I walked in. I'm like,
how the hell they know where anything is in that place? I have no idea.
I went in there. I needed a special size screw.
Yep.
I'm like, I look like, where is it? Like, and they're like, I need this.
Hold
and they're
on,
like, oh yeah, hold on. They went back to
it.
some corner somewhere, and I'm like, they came back with the screw. I'm like, all right.
I have another question on the board here. Are the old Felix the cat clocks worth any money?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are. It depends on what the shape they are in, and whether they've been cared for. Because some of them they just hung on the wall in the kitchen and got full of grease and stuff from people cooking. And
is that a wall wagger?
Yeah.
Okay. A wall wagger.
Yeah, they have a little tail that moves back and
forth. It's like wagging the dog.
That's the big problem. A lot of the clocks went in the kitchens, and in the kitchen you're going to cook.
Right.
And all the clocks have open areas on them. So you get the grease and the water, and that all gets in there. It mixes in with the
So how would you clean it?
There's
bring it to Phil.
Yeah, you bring it to me.
Like, say if I'm at home, and is it safe to take a cleaner or something and just clean it out? That's one. Okay, so you destroy it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like guys that use the WD-40. WD-40 was made to lubricate, but also take water away from things.
Okay.
And the old timers thought that weren't working on clocks. WD-40 works, but WD-40 and brass are a bad thing.
To me, WD-40 and duct tape
in a clock are brass,
Yeah.
so it dries it out, and then it leaves like pitting all over it. So all the bushings in the clock end up needing to be repaired. So yeah, you just have a professional do it.
Yeah, me WD-40 and duct tape fixes everything.
Yeah,
so
well, yeah. Bruises, cuts.
Yeah. So that's what I would have done.
Broken bones.
Broken bones.
I've been there.
A little time tap on it, it'll go away.
What's your favorite kind of clock? And what's your favorite kind of work on?
Cuckoos.
Really?
Those are my favorite clocks.
Well, no, why is that? Because of just
they're so intricate. There's
Okay.
a lot involved in them. So when you're done with the cuckoo and you hang it up and it does what it's supposed to do, it's really rewarding. But it takes a lot of work to do it because there's so many moving parts, and this one has to be here to do this to make sure that this works, to make sure that this works. So the cuckoo opens the door.
So that's an interesting question. How long does it usually take to fix a clock like that?
Well, like
I know it probably depends on what the problem is.
It depends on what the problem is. If it's just a normal service, I can usually have them done within a week. But with all the other clocks at the same time, you get backed up 2.5 to 3 weeks. The grandfather clocks, I like to go out, I pick up the movement out of the clock and I bring it back, I clean it, I set it up, and it sits on a stand and I let it run. And while it's running, you get it oiled and you set the time. So every time you set a clock, you make sure that 24 hours that you checked it last, that's when you want to set it again. Check it, you adjust the pendulum so that the time comes in. Because if you're going out there going, oh, it's off again, and you adjust it. Oh, it's off again, and you adjust it. Tomorrow you're going to get up and it's going to be way off. So once a day. So if it's off, it might take me a little bit while to get it tuned in correctly, but eventually it's there.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's I didn't know what I was in for.
Yeah.
When I walked into his shop, I had no idea. I'm thinking, I'll be honest with you. I think, why is he here? I'm serious. I was like, why? And I found out quickly, and that's just the honest truth. I mean, I just thought it was really, really cool. You saw me.
Yeah.
I was walking around going, whoa.
I can imagine you in there.
I was, and it was
Probably
just
all day in there, get lost.
Yeah, Nick and I went in there.
Last week, right?
We were just both bolting them with questions, and I'm just the sound, bing, bing. I'm like, whoa!
The grandfather clocks in the background.
Yeah.
So now these clocks are old.
Oh yeah.
So how do you get parts?
Well, there's a couple of companies out there, like Pennsylvania still has a couple of companies that actually will sell the parts to people that are in the service doing it. And there's a couple in Iowa. Some of them I have to go overseas to get. Canada has a couple of places that do stuff still. But there's majority of some of the older clocks, I end up having to go overseas to get some of the parts. But
they're
still they like clocks over there too.
Yeah.
But you ever run into a really, really like old clock where you can't get a part
We
anymore?
had a wooden gear clock that
a wooden gear clock,
clock, and we ended up having to send the part to a gentleman in Putnam, I believe it was, that actually does all the woodworking on the gears. And I was getting it for my father because he couldn't do it at the time. He was so backed up, and he had it back within a couple of days.
Oh.
It was beautiful. It looked better than the first.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't even realize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think so many things, especially old craftsmanship back in the day, people today, especially kids, they take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, because they got a watch, they got a device.
That's broken.
You know,
I'll get another one.
Exactly.
Well, that's why
the
I
screen
was
broke.
That's why I was down and walking by, like same thing, clock shop.
Yeah. Why are you here? You know, and
Like,
now
they
I know
still
why.
have clocks. That's why I was.
Well, I almost every day during the week I'm on a service call. I've been trying to make all my service calls around 8:30 in the morning so that I'm still at the shop by 10 and get to spend the day there. If I make another service call, I'll try to do it after 4 when we're closed. Because before, like you saw, I was in the middle of the day, gotta go. In the middle of the day, gotta go. And it's just me. So.
Yeah. Can imagine.
Really cool.
'Cause I know my mother's husband now. He's got clocks all over the house. We walked into his house. We're like going nuts. Like ding dong, boom, clap. Right, the bird comes out. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
We're like, whoa. Like, and
there aren't very many people that service them anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's
definitely a niche market.
Yeah. There's a lot of it's gone, which is sad because I knew so many of the guys that used to do it, and you know, they get up there in age, and then they either stopped doing it or they passed on. You know, and their sons didn't pick it up, so that's not a family thing that's grown. It just died with them, which is sad.
It's literally a dying art.
It really is.
Yeah.
So why do they call a clock maker or a clock repair person a horologist?
Horologist. It's a term for time.
I didn't know if it was like for instead of hour, it was
somebody that studies timepieces.
Horologist. HOROL.
Never heard of that.
OGIST.
Yeah. Really? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an old term.
Really? Oh.
Yep.
Wow. Never heard of that.
No, neither did I. I was like, what is this all about?
Yeah. Do you have it on the front of your store?
No.
Horologist?
Nope.
So you can think people would think. That's what
I think it would just confuse, confuse people.
Yeah.
Funny, you're not going in here.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking walking by.
What do they have there?
We're parking out back.
Imagine a couple leaving crankies in the middle of the night walking by the horologist. Like,
yeah, right. I brought my ones.
A red light in the window.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. Talk some more with Phil in a minute right here on. Let's see if I can do this right here on SNSN.
You see the signs everywhere. No alcohol if under 21. No tobacco under 21. No vaping supplies under 21. It's 21 for a reason.
Youth that use alcohol are more likely to engage in other risky behaviors, such as gambling. Learn the warning signs and how to talk to your children about addiction.
It's 21 for a reason. Brought to you by CIRAC and funded in partnership with SAMHSA. Find out more at CIRACCT.org.
Hi, my name is Dr. Katina Simmons. I'm the optometrist and the new owner of Grizzled Eye Care, formerly the office of Dr. Joel Zuckerbrand. I would like to welcome you and your family to make an appointment today for an eye exam. Even though the name has changed, we are still providing the same family-friendly eye care as Dr. Z. We are located at 8 North Main Street in Jewett City. You can also find Grizzled Eye Care on Facebook and send us a message. Don't forget that eye exams correlate to your whole body health too. It's not just new glasses and contacts. So come see me, Dr. Katina Simmons at the all-new Grizzled Eye Care, formerly Dr. Zuckerbrand. Hope to see you soon.
Hey, I'm Jess, the tire queen from Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Springtime is the best time for making sure your air conditioning is working to its full potential. Springtime is also a great time for a tune-up, so your car is running as economical as possible. Those gas prices are nuts. Spring is also the time to get your wheels aligned. Who would know better than me, the tire queen? Come see me at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. I'm Jess, the tire queen.
You buy better.
Better it burns.
Much better.
So much better it burns. The right insurance at the right price. You buy better it burns.
You buy better it burns. You buy better.
Are you looking to
simplify the complicated things in life, insurance can seem daunting, like a task for the must-do list, not the want-to-do list. Let the Burns Agency take the headache out of protecting your assets. We're a full-service agency offering home, auto, life, and business insurance. Call, email, chat us online, or do it the good old-fashioned way and stop in. We have 2 locations, Norwich and Dayville, with licensed staff ready to serve your insurance needs. The Burns Agency, proudly serving Eastern Connecticut since 1932.
Rich Wasilick joins the morning show every Tuesday and Thursday right here on SNSN.
All right, good morning. We are back here at SNSN. Make sure that you do check out our supporters and sponsors that you just heard. CIRAC right there, CIRACCT.org. Check them out. They're all about drug prevention and gambling prevention or problem gambling. CIRACCT.org. Grizzled Eye Care. Dr. Tina Simmons, she took over for Dr. Joel Zuckerbrown. She's right next to us here on North Main Street in Jewett City. Make an appointment with her. Of course, the Burns Agency in Norwich and in Dayville. And Jess the Tire Queen. You heard it. Tire Queen over at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. So I was talking to Jess just the other day.
Really?
And, because I literally, we recorded commercials on my phone.
Oh, that?
Yeah, and everything. So,
oh, wow.
And I walked in there. This is no joke. Because I kind of dubbed her the Tire Queen, kind of like, well, let's build the brand. Let's do this, right? She got a hoodie. It says Jess, Tire Queen. I'm serious. I'm not kidding you. And she goes, I said, are you selling more tires? She goes, yes. Good.
Oh, that's good.
I need a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the sweatshirt. Yeah. Tire Queen. All right, before we finish up here with Phil, I want to just go ahead and mention that tomorrow, Wednesday, March 30th, all Jersey Mike's locations order a sub and make a difference towards the Special Olympics as 100% of sales, not profits, but 100% of sales of all Jersey Mike's locations go towards sponsoring Special Olympics.
Wow, that's nice.
Wow.
So the closest one to us is one in Mohegan Sun, and there's one also
Waterford.
Isn't there one in on the west side of Norwich?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
So there are a couple that you can go to, or you can just go to jerseymikes.com/locations/CT, and you can check them out. So Dave, who comes into the room and quite often. Works for Special Olympics, and he was make sure he gave us that information so we could get it out there. So go down to Jersey Mike's today and get some lunch, which is cool because it's not all just profits.
It's the whole thing.
Sales, whatever they ring up that day, they're going to donate to Special Olympics.
That's awesome.
Olympics, excuse me. So it's really cool. So Phil, why don't you tell everybody what your hours are at the shop and how they can get in touch with you?
Tuesday through Friday, I'm open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, I'm open 9 a.m. to 2, and I'm closed on Sunday and Monday. And the number there is 401-207-2475. And I also have a website. It's philsclocksandrepair.com.
That makes sense. Phil's Clocks and Repair. Repairs or repair?
Repairs.
Okay. Phil's Clocks and Repairs.com. All right. Anything else you want to mention that we hadn't mentioned or anything?
I think we touched it all.
Yes. Well, no, there's no way. We just gave a brief overview of what happens down there because it's amazing. It's a like Crystal Visions. That's where Crystal Visions was.
Right.
That's where he is.
Yeah.
And it's not a big space, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on in there. And what I got out of it when I walked in there is all I could remember is thinking about like going into my grandfather's house or my uncle's house, that had these clocks and you hear these sounds. It was the sounds that did it for me. Because I asked you, I said, does this drive you nuts? No.
Do you hear it anymore?
Yeah, no.
I don't really hear it. My wife comes in and she's like, oh my gosh.
It's like Zen. It's like you just want to float.
Yeah.
And it did. It brought back because, they say sounds and smells and
sounds,
certain
smells,
things will
and
bring
bells,
you back to certain memories.
Yeah, it just clicks it.
Yeah, and that did. So that's why all of a sudden I had a ton of questions for you.
Right.
That's why
And
I
you
said,
did.
Yeah, I did. You're probably thinking, "Is he ever going to shut up?"
Oh, no. It keeps me from sitting down in the back working on something.
Then I said, you got to come up, talk, and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad you invited me. I appreciate it.
Oh no, hey, it's what we do,
right?
What we do. So you're right on Main Street. What's the phone number again? 401-207-2475. 2475. All right, Phil. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank
Nice to meet
you.
you.
Enjoy it. You
guys have
Thank
a
you.
good dress warm.
It's flipping cold out there.
Yep, then it's gonna get warm.
One more
and it's
day.
gonna rain.
I know. I feel like I want to headbutt everything.
All right, guys, you have a
All
good
right.
one.
You
Thank
too.
you very much.
Enjoy.
All right. Yeah, you got to check out a shop if you haven't.
Yeah,
It really
definitely
is
check it out. Yeah.
Cool. It is cool.
Wow.
Oh, you can leave that open now. Yeah. It was
Don't
just
need the air.
Yeah, because now it's like,
Yeah. I'm sweating.
Yeah. You got to check it out. It really is.
Yeah,
cool.
that
'Cause
sounds cool.
But when I walked in there, like I said, for me it was like the noise, the sound. It wasn't even noise. It was just the sounds. It was just, and it brings you back.
Kind of like that white noise effect. What do we call
Not
it?
even.
What's
It's-
that term? The noise that makes you relax.
White noise, you know.
Yeah.
And there's ambient sounds.
Yeah.
It was like an ambient sound. You know, it was just it brought back, you know, like visiting like older relatives. You know, because you think about it, our kids are not going to have that.
Yeah.
You know, unless you got guys like Phil around. So, because we do live in a disposable society, which
Yeah, the only reason our kids would know it is because my mother's husband has tons of those from the Navy days, barometers and the clocks to go with them, and cuckoo clocks, and all. Like every wall has a few cuckoo clocks on it or something.
well, it's like even the time announcement from the church downtown.
Yeah,
you know, every 15
I
minutes.
love
you hear,
that.
Bong. I used to get up every single morning, coffee, go out on the back deck, and you knew it was at the bottom of the hour, and you had to get your ass in gear because you had to get to work because a song went off. And then at the top of the hour, it does it. That's one of these things that makes this town.
Well, like
this
the
town.
memory I have growing up was laying in bed in the morning, and East Great Plains fire siren always went off at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning.
8:30 in Jewett City was the Jewett City whistle.
So I always heard it. I'm like, oh, all right, I know what time it is. And I remember that to this day. Yeah, can be picture laying there listening to it.
They don't even have a whistle anymore, do they? Or that they
do.
use?
They do. We have to set it off ourselves for like a working fire or something. We have to do it ourselves.
Or nuclear war or something like that.
Yeah. Russians.
Little things. Yeah. Little things. So you have some information about town meetings. So we're going to get into some local information.
My secretary printed this out yesterday.
Oh boy. Thanks, Kathy.
There's the Board of Selectmen. They had their meeting on 3/22 of 22.
They have a special meeting today, don't they? About it's budget season.
Budget season, yeah. That's an interesting point too. Yes. So on 3/22/22, the revised carnival vendor contract wasn't yet to be received.
We don't even know what that is. I mean, that's assuming that we're going to have a carnival. So they sent another contract or something out.
And yet to be received. So far there is no
Okay.
contract.
So there is no carnival yet.
According to this, that's
Got
what
it.
you can.
Got
Well, according to the minutes, that's what you can get out of that.
Right.
Creation of the ARPA committee to provide recommendations for the use of the ARPA funds. The brief discussion took place, and they decided no action was actually needed. Whatever that means.
That's why I think we need to. That's why it's hard just reading it off of there because I don't think if we don't get it, I mean.
Well, I think that's my whole point. That's
Okay.
my whole point is like you can take these the way you perceive them, but what do they actually mean? That's
like ARPA funds. Those were released.
Those were the COVID funds,
right? Relief
So
funds or whatever. That
they
came
have the
through, yeah.
funds, but they don't have the. They didn't establish a committee to disperse the funds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a road study. There's no new info on it.
Okay.
The use of the
A road study for what? See, that's what I mean. You know, I
Right.
mean, it's
so use of front property of public works facility. So all that big property in the front
of Public Works.
Of Public Works.
They want to use that,
Right,
if
so
I'm not mistaken, for
that's-
lacrosse
Right.
and or soccer.
Right. So the youth lacrosse was requested to use the property. It says, and the first selectman will be using judgment on the use and cost of the use of that property.
That's right. And it doesn't have to go before the Board of Selectmen. I guess the first selectman has the power to
Right.
decide whether or not there'll be a charge for that
and what it will be.
And what it will be.
That's what they decided here.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Board of
See, I
Finance.
read my stuff.
3/24/22. This was an interesting meeting because a lot took place with the fire departments. Minutes not yet available on the town website, though.
You got your budget chopped, didn't you?
Part of it, not the whole budget. It was the budget for recruitment and retention.
I would think that would be the part that you'd want the most.
Which was the point of why the fire departments went there, and letters were written. Like, actually, my wife wrote a letter to all of them saying, hey, you want to cut recruitment and retention, but you need firefighters. So why would you cut the recruitment and retention?
I don't know.
So they did not cut it yet. And Alex was great and said that he was not voting on the budget if they do cut it.
Okay.
So he refuses to vote on it if they do cut it.
Alex is the chair of
the chairman of the Board of Finance. Yep. Right. So economic development, 316 of 22, JR Flag Route 164, which is next to Petromax.
Okay. So JR Flag. That's the see. I gotta interpret a little bit because just reading that, people don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Right. So the interested party walked around the property and they were interested in developing a truck stop facility there.
Okay, so now what the JR Flag property is? It's right next to Petromax. It was supposed to be a RV dealership, right? That the Flag family had 3, or they had 2. This was supposed to be their 3rd. Then Mr. Flag sold everything to Camper World.
Yep.
And then Campers World had an opportunity to buy this land. Mm-hmm. They did not.
Right.
So now it's just available.
There's interested parties, and then one of the interested parties is interested in developing a truck stop facility there.
Right there. I thought they wanted to do one off of the old exit 86.
So they also walked around the Gear property off of 138 and looked at the property off of Hopeville Road, and they're more interested in the Hopeville Road I-395 entrance exit, which is 22 acres. So that's all they left on that. So
that's been on the table for a while.
Yeah.
That one.
So Heritage River again.
Heritage River, that's on 164, just past the old Stotts area.
Almost across from Petro, a little bit down the road.
Yes. Yeah.
Their project is redesigned in the terms of proposed buildings and layouts, but with similar uses to the original plan. It's approximately 300 housing units that they put in on the plan.
Got it.
And they're requesting the developer to present revisions at the future Economic Development Committee meeting prior to permitting processes.
Okay.
So the former Titan LLC on 134 Preston Road, no activity, no reduction in the price or the asking price. They're going to attempt a bundle flag property with this one. So they want to bundle it up. That's all it says.
I don't know.
That's what it says.
Okay.
If the property doesn't sell, it's going to go into bankruptcy, which I find interesting.
Okay.
Well, Miranda's texting me. All right. I'm going to talk about that too. Thank you. Infrastructures, sanitary infrastructure financing is in place.
What?
So that's what it says.
Sanitary what?
Infrastructure financing is in place.
Okay.
So I think that's the infrastructure for the sewer lines that were supposed to be put in.
I'm glad I can interpret here because
this is right
this
off
is going
meow. Yeah, this is right off the minutes.
Minutes are
yep.
Or, I'm going to be honest. The minutes are crap. They're crap because they don't tell you anything. You want to? They're just they're crap.
Which is why we're reading them.
I know, but we're just reading crap.
So people know what you're reading.
Sorry.
So the USDA initially requested the 2 utilities, water and sewer, be on the same application, but now they're requiring the separate applications, which we talked about last time.
Mm-hmm.
And this has put the water component back to square one. So we're going backwards. Green Earth. If anybody know what that is, I'm assuming it's some kind of group that has to do with
Greenness.
Environment,
okay,
or something. 238 East Main Street, the PWC site. They're putting together their capital stack, which is needed for the proposed development project. Status update should be received from Green Earth in a couple of days. And this is an interesting one, I thought. 77 Anthony Street, the property down in the back there, is in the process of finalizing the purchase of sales agreement with a New Jersey developer, and they're going to raise the former wire wind wind, whatever structures, and construct a new state-of-the-art building for major distribution operations.
Cool.
So that'll be interesting
if it goes through. Let's talk about let's jump right into. You're offering a first aid and CPR class.
That's what the text was actually about.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
So, Health and Safety Committee decided we're going to do a for-cost first aid and CPR class.
A what?
For-cost.
For-cost?
So
Okay, what does that mean?
My company is going to do the class at a no profit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to have to just basically pay for the price of the card if you want a card.
Okay.
If you don't want a card, just show up and learn. If you want a card for certification purposes, then it's going to cost you the price of the card.
And what's the price?
I'm going to verify it, but it's going to be like $26 or something like that. It's not anything.
So really, it's just doing this really for
Doing
community
outreach because people need it. Part of the class is Narcan, it's choking, it's trauma, medical problems, CPR, use of an AED, stuff like that. So, and it should be
AEDs and
a semi-automatic
defibrillator.
external defibrillator, like you see on TV, clear.
Right.
We'll teach you the realities of it.
And those apparently are very easy to operate.
I've taught a Browning troop.
Yeah.
How to use them. It's really not.
And they're
that
all hard.
over
the place too. A lot of places.
Jewish City itself, they're up and down Main Street all the way.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And Walgreens has one. Town Hall has one.
Yeah. The gyms should have them. The sewer department even has one. Believe it or not. So I mean, they're everywhere.
Somebody gets a bad whiff.
I guess so. Yeah. I think they got them because of the workers. And there's also a grant that was just received, and the fire department is getting new ones, and we're going to be carrying a couple of us who have them in our vehicles.
Got it.
So they're going to be everywhere. And the first 6 minutes of a cardiac arrest is when you want to use it. So it's very important that people know how to use them.
Got it.
So that's going to be, let's say, April 10th, I believe. Just verify that. I don't want to give out wrong information.
Okay. Somebody says Rich, and we can't see your name, just as Facebook user, because it asks you. By the way, if you're in the chat room and you see the thing where it says, click this link to let people know who you are. So we don't know who you are.
Me?
No. In the room, someone said, Rich, I'm also an AHA instruction EMS. And it's Mike. I'll text you. But who are you? We can't see your name. Help. Happy to help if you need additional hands. So this person is doing
Offering to help.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yep.
Oh, it's Ryan Hargraves
from Voluntown.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Text me.
He's a good duck.
Yeah, text me. I think we've talked before. So it's April 10th, 3:00 at Jewett City Fire Department. And then in May, we're going to also be doing a trafficking awareness class. And Miranda's helping with
now
that.
that's human trafficking, right? You're talking
Human
about
trafficking.
We're not talking about Main Street trafficking, cars driving like assholes
That's a whole
up and down
different,
Main Street.
That's a whole different class.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be doing human trafficking awareness. So that's going to be an interesting topic. It's going to be free 100% to the community.
So now as far as where the events are going to be held,
right?
Because I offered you could have it right here.
Yeah,
if you wanted, there's
before you offered, the committee voted to do those two at the fire departments.
All right, that's cool.
But if we do any more, we'll probably end up doing another one here.
Whatever, it's available.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah.
So,
the trafficking class will be at Griswold Fire Department, and
as long as the building isn't sold and we're still here.
Yeah, that's.
Then all bets are off.
Well, I guess that could be part of the reason why we didn't want to do it. Wherever you go,
it's going to be a bit.
Yeah. So wherever you go next, we'll do a class at, obviously, because I want to do some classes there too. But so first aid CPR will be April 10th at Jewett City Fire Department. Stand by. We'll have registration set up for that, so we know who is coming, and then we'll also be doing the trafficking class at Griswold Fire Department in May. We'll have more info up on that too.
Very good. All right, dude. Thanks, man.
Giddy up.
Let's get some breakfast.
I'm starving.
We'll see you tomorrow. Once again, tomorrow is
Ryan, hit me up. Let me know.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Paul Ash will be back once again, and we will have more interesting topics and guests and everything because we try to be very community orientated, and we enjoy it. We hope you do as well. So have a good day.
Remember, burn your freaking house down.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Have a good day, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Live from Main Street, your community radio.
Mike Minarski and Rich Wasilick in the morning, and 80s all day and night. SNSN.
Well, I was born
You see the signs everywhere. No alcohol if under 21. No tobacco under 21. No vaping supplies under 21. It's 21 for a reason.
Youth that use alcohol are more likely to engage in other risky behaviors, such as gambling. Learn the warning signs and how to talk to your children about addiction.
It's 21 for a reason. Brought to you by CIRAC and funded in partnership with SAMHSA. Find out more at CIRACCT.org.
Hi, my name is Dr. Katina Simmons. I'm the optometrist and the new owner of Grizzled Eye Care, formerly the office of Dr. Joel Zuckerbrand. I would like to welcome you and your family to make an appointment today for an eye exam. Even though the name has changed, we are still providing the same family-friendly eye care as Dr. Z. We are located at 8 North Main Street in Jewett City. You can also find Grizzled Eye Care on Facebook and send us a message. Don't forget that eye exams correlate to your whole body health too. It's not just new glasses and contacts. So come see me, Dr. Katina Simmons, at the all-new Grizzled Eye Care, formerly Dr. Zuckerbrand. Hope to see you soon.
Hey, I'm Jess, the tire queen from Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. Springtime is the best time for making sure your air conditioning is working to its full potential. Springtime is also a great time for a tune-up, so your car is running as economical as possible. Those gas prices are nuts. Spring is also the time to get your wheels aligned. Who would know better than me, the tire queen? Come see me at Advanced Automotive on Route 138 in Griswold. I'm Jess, the tire queen.
You buy better,